I'm a year 12 student studying maths, further maths, computer science and physics at A levels in the UK. And I'm not gonna lie, these subjects are very, very hard. You need a lot of work and mental effort to put into these subjects. On top of that, I'm running this YouTube channel, which I intend to grow exponentially in the future and then just upload consistently to this channel as well. On top of that, I'm an aspiring bodybuilder and also an entrepreneur, and I work a job. If you hear me list all of these, you probably think that I'm some kind of super genius or some kind of productivity expert juggling all of these things at the same time. And honestly, I'm not. At the beginning of year 12, I looked into organization, but I thought it was a scam. I thought that people who had invested time into making their organization system, if you probably visualize this, you probably see some random person having all their pretty notes and there's pretty folders. I thought all of that was a scam, and I thought that that's just an excuse for people not doing their work. But I, at the same time, was missing loads and loads of homework. Therefore, it led to a worsened test results score. I hadn't been posting consistently to this YouTube channel. If you look at my past upload dates, they've honestly been very, very inconsistent. And people always comment on my videos saying, oh yeah, it's probably because he's doing A-level stuff. No, that was inconsistent as well, because I had no fixed productivity system that organized my entire life. However, after the past week or so of researching, I can now tell you that I've probably built one of the best productivity systems, at least for me, that I've ever seen. Before I explain to you what that is, I want to tell you exactly what a productivity system is. Basically, it's a application or some kind of things, either paper or technologically based, that you can put together that organizes your entire life. This is the highest ROI, return on investment skill, that loads and loads of top level students, entrepreneurs, and anyone successful has. They always have time management, and to get that, you need to have some kind of productivity system. This was what I was missing at the beginning of year 12 and year 11 and year 10 as well. If you want to have a good productivity system, it needs to have three main things. It needs to be easy to use, it needs to be completely synchronized, and it also needs to be rigorous in it. You shouldn't have random information get lost somewhere. So what I used to do, I used to take random post-it notes and write what I had to do, and then I used to stick it on the wall. That was not easy to do because I had to go and find the post-it note. That was not synchronized in any way, and that had I had random post-it notes being lost or something. I remember I was once doing physics homework, and I thought I had maths homework due in the next day, but I wasn't quite sure. And I did have maths homework due in the next day, but I was forgetting that I forgot to put it down on the post-it note, if you get what I mean. So this productivity system should eliminate all of that. You're going to be so much less stressed if you just know exactly what you have to do in the upcoming days. If you have everything planned out, going into a test, it's way easier and more stress relieving if you know exactly what you have to do and how it's going to play out until the test, compared to if you haven't planned anything and you're just going over off the top of your head on what you're going to revise or something. This is the same for filming these YouTube videos. If I just come in here and start yapping, it's not going to be as good of a video, and it's not going to perform as well as if I just plan it out on this productivity system I'm going to show you. So before I switch over to my productivity system, this is on an app called Notion. If you haven't heard about Notion, this is not sponsored, by the way. I'm too small of a YouTuber to be sponsored, but Notion is an app where you can organize your entire life. A lot of high level people use it. Ali Abdal, Udoka Fintelman, top level business owners, Hamza, everyone uses this one application because it's really good at synchronizing different tasks, and it's just a really, really aesthetic app that you can use. So without further ado, I'm just going to switch over to my Notion setup, so hopefully you can see exactly how I plan out my days. Also, before I switch over to my computer, I just want to say that this Notion template, so a template is a page where you can copy my entire productivity system. This is all available for free on the link below. I know a lot of YouTubers charge for this Notion template. I literally couldn't be asked. I'm thinking about this in the terms of if someone told me that this Notion template was paid, I literally wouldn't even click on it. So that's why I'm giving it all for free. If you want to download this Notion template thing, go click the first link on the description and you'll get that there. Now we switch over to a different camera angle, and hopefully you can see my Notion setup on the screen here. if you're wondering, this is what Notion looks like. It's basically a page. You're probably going to start off, when you make a free account, you're going to start off with an untitled page like this. To make a page, all you do is press the plus button over here, and then you make a page. But when you start off with Notion, you're going to get an empty page like this. My home page looks like this, and I'm just going to walk you through exactly how my Notion works and how I plan out all of my activities, basically. And then I'm going to go on to exactly how to make it. Before you start commenting down below, this isn't a completely original Notion setup. I have copied from random other people. I think the main people I copied from for like inspiration, a lot of people say inspiration, they basically need copy, man. Like if you say inspiration, you're not really inspiring if you're just copying them. But I've just taken inspiration from other people's Notion setups. So the main people I took from were a dude named Udo Kafintuman, a guy named 10Q, and a guy named Ali Abdal. All three of them are legends. Go subscribe to them. Yeah, they've all inspired me like in their own different way. But if we come to our like main Notion setup, this is how my one looks like. So I have a sick cover here. I don't exactly know what this picture actually is. It's just a really cool picture I found online, and I like the vibe to it. So I have that here. I have Shamir's HQ, like my headquarters. If my actual name's Shamir, if you didn't know. But I basically have my headquarters here, and this is where the magic happens. This is where I plan out everything. This is where I have my goals, and this is where I have my weekly goals, my planners, my YouTube timetable stuff, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how each one works. So the main like section, if we want to divide this entire video into sections, this is section 1, my main layout. So I have my main goals over here. The first part of this system is I have my goals over here. My goals are basically the driving force to my entire reasoning of doing this. Of course, you can't see them. I have deleted them because I thought that this video would get a bit too personal. But you want to set goals that really motivate you. You want to set goals that will make you excited when you think about them. So for me, alright, I'm not going to tell you exactly what my goals are. But if you have like in your mind, if you're a GCSE student, imagine getting all 9s. Like not just like passing to get into your 6th form, have like aspirational goals. So getting all 9s in every single subject is a pretty good goal to achieve for. If you want to put that goal as like something to drive forward to, that would be a sick goal to put over here. I have like fitness goals. If you watch my monk mode video, you'll see like what other goals I typically tend to have and what I recommend other people have. But yeah, you just put that here for inspiration. You basically want to open up this page and then see the goals as your main focus over here. That's like the driving force to the car that is this productivity system. So if you think about like this entire productivity system or like organization system as like a car, this is the fuel to that. Your goals will drive you. Like if everything goes away, it's just the motivation your goals provide you that will drive you towards them, basically. But yeah, we have my goals here. That's pretty simple to set up. All you have to do to create a bullet system like this, like a clicky system like this, is just press the backward slash button, and then you have a menu that you can scroll down to, and then you can get a to-do list. So yeah, the reason I haven't bullet pointed like my goals and kept them like this is because when I do achieve them, the amount of dopamine I would receive from just ticking that off is immense. Imagine, I'm just visualizing the point at which where I can just go over to these boxes and then tick them off one by one, knowing that I've put like my heart and soul into grinding towards these goals. And that's something I would recommend you to do as well. If you have really good goals, they don't have to be like academic, they can be like fitness based, and then you have them on here. The amount of dopamine, the amount of happiness, the bliss you receive from taking these off one by one is immense. But that's not part of like my actual productivity system. But basically, the second part of this is having something called weekly goals. A lot of like normal people plan out their days like one day at a time. But then I noticed from another guy named Ray Amjad that by having a weekly goal system, it enables me to think like further ahead and not just think about the present day. So when I have like things to do, I can, before I plan out my days by clicking this button and then planning out my days on this like template thing, I can just see what sort of tasks I need to do on every day. This is also provided by the calendar system here, but I'll come on to that later. So my weekly goals are basically like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I have certain things to do every single day. So today I had to do this in the morning. I had to do, I was feeling a bit ill, so I couldn't really do this. I did do Anki in the car. I'm filming the video right now, so that typically counts. And I have to finish waves, like the worksheet for physics, because I have an upcoming exam, which I'll come to in like later part of the video. But yeah, this is very, very like easy to do. All you do is have like subheadings: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and all you do is you just add like stuff you need to do on every single day and tick them off one by one. The second, like the main other part of this weekly goal system is by having something called a daily planner. So I got this idea of Adoka Fintorn, like I said in the beginning of the video, but having a button like this that just like generates a daily planner. So a daily planner is like, you see those like diary things where you can plan out your day by the time, instead of just having a random to-do list. Like I mentioned in my monk mode video, this is like an online version to that. So if I go onto my daily planner, I have something like this. So I have today's priorities. Those are like the bullet points I had on each day of the week. And then I can just, every day before I go to sleep, I can just make my timetable for the next day. So the time now is 5:20. So I need to go to the gym soon. But yeah, so I just like try to plan out my day in the most exact and precise way as possible. And if you fulfill even like 30% of this planned day, that's 30% more productive than you are the previous amount of days. So a lot of people feel really, really depressed if they don't like have every single second of their day being productive. But honestly, like 40% of this, if I can do 40% of this day, that's 40% more productive than most other people. I have tasks done, so like these are random tasks that don't really require mental effort, but just require like, they're just a hassle to do. So like add people to my GitHub, like it doesn't really require like my full brain attention. I don't have to revise for adding people to GitHub. All I need to do is just go onto GitHub website and then add people to my like repositories and stuff. So it doesn't really require that much mental aptitude or mental bandwidth. The other part of my like daily planner thing is my gratitude journal. Gratitude journaling is a very, very good process. I'm not going to really mention it that much. If you want, you can go watch a video by this guy named Hamza Ahmed, who like explains why gratitude journaling is good and how it really helps your mental health. So let's go off here. Hopefully this should be self-evident, but this is very, very useful. If you can plan every single day, and then I also have this archive feature, so I can go archive this here. Sorry, archive that in that page, and then when I do archive that, if I go here, I can see what like things I did on each week and stuff, and I can go and see like what I did in every single day. If I've like missed out a day, or I want to just see how productive I was every single day in the past, then I can just go to my archive and then just look at like the archived files or the archived daily planners I had. This again is way better than a normal daily planner, because if you think about this, if you have a normal daily planner, you probably make it on like some random piece of paper like I used to do. When you do make the daily planner, you either lose it, like if you've lost it, you don't know what you're meant to do, and it's not synchronized. And even if you do have it for the day, after you're done with it, you just chuck it in the bin. But with this, you can archive it into like a system of where you can like look back and see how productive you've become. The third part of my Notion system is by having this database table, these two database tables. So whenever I have, this is like a fairly new system I got from a YouTuber named 10Q, and all this is it's a sort of like to-do list system wherein if I want to add like something to do, if I want to add a task or something to do, all I have to do is just type in here. So imagine I had link Notion setup to video. I can just add that, select like what section it's in. So this is YouTube, and then if I have a date. So if I open this and then I add a date to it. So if I want it today, this automatically adds this to the tasks I have to do into like this day. And this is really, really nice for just looking ahead. So imagine I've added like exams in the future. So if you look like exams in the future. I know exactly when my exams are and like what day, and then therefore I have this a mental clarity of what exactly I have to do for every single day leading up to the exam. And that's something that not a lot of people utilize online, because I feel like if you do have an exam upcoming, a lot of the stress isn't actually not knowing the content, it's not knowing what you don't know and not knowing how prepared you would be on the exam day. And this basically gets rid of that. So again, if you want to know how to make like a to-do list linked to a calendar like this, it's been very, very helpful for me. All you do is you press the // button, you then go to database view, database inline. You create a name for your database, so maybe your name, so I'll create Shamalan's schedule. I don't know, that's schedule, there you go. And then all you do is you add properties like this. So I can add like task here, I can add context here, context. If I want the date as well, you can add the date here. And then you just add tasks, like task 1, you add the date, and then you add the context as well. So imagine it was fitness related goal, you can add fitness in. And then all you do to create a calendar like that is you go there, you type out calendar view, and then all you do is you press this, so I hadn't actually renamed it, but if you were to name this like Malam's schedule, you should now have two of the same databases basically. And now all you do to turn this into like a calendar view is you go to layout and you click on calendar. Now this has automatically generated the task in the date it's been. So I think this is very useful for if you just want to quickly like write down a task, write down the date, and it automatically schedules it to that task. I don't know, this is like some productivity geek thing that I probably don't relate to like many people, but if you like this sort of system, you can go on my Notion page down below and then I'll give you the template, or you can just create it for yourself. Now it comes to my like YouTube channel, like guide thing. A lot of people don't really know how YouTubers plan their videos. I didn't either, but I've found like a system that really works for me. I have a new video template where whenever I like click on this template, it generates a new video like page thing where I can just like I can script it here, and then boom, I can say when I've scripted it here, I can say when I filmed it, I can say when I've edited it, I can say when I've like done the thumbnail, published, reviewed. And this is just like a process that I really like for my YouTube channel, and it will like enable me to upload more consistently, hopefully. Another like part of my Notion like page thing is just a quick access. This is another archive that I have of like notes. So how do you be more productive? I think this is an Ali Abdal notes thing. I have like other things as well. So I have how to study for exams. I think I've uploaded the full guide to this in my GitHub. But yeah, this my GCSE plan. That's good. This is like my GCSE, like how I aim to get like good grades at GCSE that I wrote out in my GCSE times. But yeah, this like quick access I don't use as much. I have like book insights when I read like a book or stuff, but I don't really use this as much. I mainly use this part of my Notion template. But yeah, if you can use this sort of productivity system in your day-to-day life, I cannot stress how useful this will be to your life in general. You'll have so much less stress, and you have so much less. You just have so much like more time to do other things. You won't really leave stuff to the last date. Basically, you will just, whenever you have a task to do, it's easier to do it. And you're like, if you don't do a task, you know that you can't cope by saying, oh yeah, I'll just do it tomorrow, because you know exactly the plan for the next 3 days if you use a system like this. So hopefully you understand how this Notion thing works. I know that I've not done the greatest job in explaining this, but hopefully like this video comes across as somewhat relatable, and hopefully you have gained some value from watching this Notion tutorial. I'm now going to end this video by telling you exactly the rules of this system and the rules I use to create my own like organization system and what I try to follow as well. Now you know exactly how I use my Notion and productivity system in the day-to-day life, and hopefully now I'm going to tell you exactly the rules of this system. What do you have to do and what don't you have to do, and what you shouldn't do to make the most out of this system. Number one is use this system to track everything. Every like important task that you need to get done. Immediately as you have the thought, just go and put it into your Notion. Notion is really good because it synchronizes between your phone and your laptop if you have one. So whenever you think about like a task to do, go to your Notion and put this down. So if I have like homework getting set by my teachers, as soon as they say it, I'm going into my Notion and like putting it into my Notion like system and stuff. I'm not waiting until like the next lesson to put it down, because as soon as you miss out that like one or two assignments, you're gonna lose trust in the system. I've seen this happen to so many people. They start off using a productivity system like this or on like other applications, and then they just stop. They just randomly can't be asked to like track like something on a day. Like they can't be asked to track like a homework on a day, and then they look at the thing and then they're missing that homework. And now it's the same problem of you're forgetting what you've like forgotten about, and now they've just completely lost trust in the entire system, and now it just doesn't work, and they may as well just go back to their old ways of like writing it down on like paper and stuff and then losing the paper. You may as well do that if you're not going to track everything in the system. I guarantee you it's not as hard to track everything as you think. Just as soon as you get an important task sent to you or assigned to you, or if you think about doing it, just go and plan it out in this like Notion setup. Go put it in the to-do list section or the database that I showed you in this setup. Second main tip I want to give you is don't expect Notion to be a source of revision. I know a lot of students use Notion to make notes. That's not a good idea. I don't think Notion should be used to make notes. I think your Notion setup should be used to hold like information or like hold the tasks you have to do, so that you don't have to waste brain energy or brain bandwidth on these tasks. There's a really nice quote I like about this topic, which is that your brain is not designed to hold ideas, it's designed to create them. Instead of making notes about the subject or something, you need to use Notion or this Notion setup to hold all of your information and tasks so that you're not like wasting your mental energy like thinking about what you haven't done, and instead you allocate that to actually doing well in the test. Don't make notes using Notion, because honestly it's just not a good resource for revision. I've tried making notes using Notion. It's not good. I've tried a lot. I know a lot of people who try making notes on Notion. Don't use it. Use another better application online. You'll probably find something way better than Notion. I know Ali Abdal like recommends using Notion. I don't know, it's a personal preference, but I just don't like using Notion because it's like it doesn't really fit into my style of using Notion. The third main tip is to stick to this system. Now you have a system of organization and productivity. All you have to do is stick to it. Now don't go and like change to some random other one. Just stick to one. If you don't like this system, don't use it. Stick to another productivity system if that works for you even better. But just stick to one. That's going to be 100 times better, like productivity wise, than just like flip-flopping between like random other productivity systems. I think Bruce Lee once famously said that I don't fear the man that has practiced 1,000 kicks once. I fear the man that has practiced one kick 1,000 times. And this is 100% to do with this topic here. If you just use like random other productivity applications and stuff, you're not going to get as much work done as just using one. So even if you don't like this system, if you don't like me, if you don't like this video, just go for your own benefit. Go and only stick to one application or productivity system for you to retain the best benefits. Fourth and final tip of this entire guide is to not expect to be 100% productive always. I've seen so many people go through this phase of just setting up a new application where they think they're going to be 100% productive 100% of the time. They think they're going to wake up at 4:30 a.m. every single day and revise 10 hours a day for like months at a time. But then the first day comes along, they do 2 hours and then they get tired and then they just leave it. If you have a system like this, you won't follow it all the time. I promise you, even if you're like a crazy level productivity, you won't follow this entire system 100% of the time. If your like day gets even 40% more productive, you're going to retain a lot of the benefits. Like, you're going to retain like a monstrous amount of benefits compared to like a random other person who doesn't have a system like this. But as soon as you start seeing yourself slacking, and as soon as you see yourself like missing some of the tasks, stick to the system. Don't like click off and think this is too hard. Just have trust in the system. I know your ego will tell you that you probably don't need a system like this to track everything, but 100% you do. If you can just stick to this system and like not care about all of the tasks you've missed, or like some of those days where you're a bit burnt out, and you just stick to this one Notion template, your life will completely change for the better. This is how success is made. If you can just stick to self-improving yourself for extended periods of time and do so and track it whilst doing so, this is literally how success is made. Hopefully you've learned a lot from this video. I've put in about a week's of research and a week of practice. I think I've been using this for about 2 weeks, and it's genuinely changed my life over the past 2 weeks. So hopefully the same will happen to you in the future. I look forward to seeing you in a week where I'm hopefully going to be uploading consistently from now on. I'll see you in the next one.